Welcome to One of Those, the show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Guys, I gotta admit, your boy had a little tech issue this week, all right? So this show is going to be different from the podcast version of the show. Be sure to go listen to the podcast up on Game Network, iHeart Radio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. There will be a link below. Check it out, or you can just go to the link tree on my profile or on the On My Feet Network's profile. You can get the podcast. It features my boy Paul Spann. It's a great show. We get into a great conversation about the Jordan 2 versus the Jordan 1 mid. Really dope conversation, man. Go check it out. The podcast is up right now. Now, because your boy is clumsy and I don't have the video version of that one. 100% my fault. 100% my fault. I'm doing something special for my OMF family, all right? Because what I also discussed in that show, me and Paul also discussed in that show, was our most anticipated sneakers of 2022. Because I think this is going to be a really dope year for sneakers, man. I really do. And it's because of the Jordan 2 conversation, because of the Jordan 1 conversation and the Jordan 1 mid conversation. Again, listen to the podcast to find out what we had to say about that. But let me just give you a little bit of a rundown of my theory of why this is going to be a really great year for sneakers. Because the hype is so astronomical on certain things that we're going to be forced to look at some of the lower releases. And you know how I feel about this, fam. You guys know I say all heat ain't hype. There's so many dope silhouettes, so many dope brands, so many dope colorways out there that you can pick up, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be an amazing year for sneakers because while everybody's out there trying to get the hyped up Jordan 1, and I'll cop a couple of those. I don't want to be a hypocrite now. But while everybody's out there trying to get that or this collab or that collab, there's a bunch of dope re-releases happening. I mean, we had Watch the Throne LeBrons come out last year or earlier this year. Guys, it's an amazing time in sneakers, okay? It's an amazing time in sneakers. So this is what I'm going to do for you guys soon. I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to tell you about 5 of the sneakers. 5 of the sneakers that I'm looking forward to in 2022. But before that, I got to let you guys know. You need to be following the On My Feet Network. If you aren't doing it on all platforms, I don't know what's wrong with you. And if you haven't downloaded the On My Feet app, I can't tell you what's wrong with you, man. It's the first app created by sneakerheads for sneakerheads. And by the way, this ain't the only show on the network. We have so many dope content creators on this network, man. We are the future. On My Feet is where it's at if you want sneaker content, man. And we releasing new shows all the time, man. We are on it. Go support the team, download the app, join the community, subscribe to the YouTube, and let's get it going, man. All right, so let's get to this list. Listen, there's going to be some stuff on this list that some of y'all not checking for, but I think that's going to be the beauty of 2022, man. 2022 is going to be all about being unique, being yourself. I'm telling you, it's going to be the rebirth of what sneaker culture is all about, the art of sneaker culture. I can't wait. And this first sneaker on my list is the Nike Zoom Flight 95, the Jason Kidd joints. Do you remember these? The most beautiful and ugly sneaker in the history of sneakers, but it's one of my all-time favorites. It's re-releasing this year. My mind is blown because I missed the last re-release, which was probably about over 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but it's been a minute since that one came out. But God, I love this sneaker. Let me tell you, talking about playing basketball, talking about being on the AAU team, talking about being on the middle school championship team. Shouts out to Our Lady Queen of Peace. Oh my God, we were hooping. I used to show up to the gym with my sweatsuit on, bottoms unzipped just a little, with the Jason Kidds on, and dog, folks, these things are pure nostalgia for me, and I am definitely copping. It's a very weird shoe. It's jarring to the eye. Okay, it's jarring to the eye, but I'm with it because, again, 2022 is about being unique. That's what we on. That's my 5th most anticipated sneaker. Let's get to number 4. Okay, number 4 does carry some hype, all right? It is a Jordan 1, and it's going to be tough to get, all right? But, I'm from Washington, D.C., and if you follow my heat checks, I had the 3s in this colorway. I talked about on the podcast, I had to actually sell those 3s because they was a little too small. So if anybody can hook me up with some Georgetown 3s, hit me up because I'm definitely going after these Georgetown 1s, these 85s. My God, Again, if you're from D.C. or you're a basketball fan and you remember how the Hoyas used to move, you got to have your pair of Georgetown 1s, man. There's a Nike store in Washington, D.C. in Georgetown, and they have numbers 1 through 14 all in Georgetown colors on a display case. Oh, my God, man. I envy that thing every single day, man. I just look at it and go, man, when you going to release some of these? And this Jordan 185, just like the Jordan 3 Georgetown, is super duper dope, super duper clean. It's going to be a lot of hype. It's going to be very hard to cop, but I'm going to try to make moves so I can get this one. That's my 4th anticipated shoe. Let's get to number 3. Okay, shout outs to another hyped up release. Okay, this is a pretty hyped up release, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is because the Jordan 2 is making a bit of a comeback. Again, tune into the podcast to hear me and Paul's conversation about why we think the Jordan 2 is making a comeback and what it means for other smaller silhouettes and less popular silhouettes. Anyway, the Union and Jordan 2 collab is super duper fire. There's another big Jordan 2 collab. And matter of fact, we might as well combine the two. So let's say our number 3 is the Union Jordan 2 collab and the A Ma Manière Jordan 2 collab. That's my combination number 3. The Jordan 2 is definitely one of my favorite silhouettes. I've been rocking 2s for a while. I don't know. Y'all jumping on the bandwagon. Welcome to the team. Welcome to Team Jordan 2 because I've been with it. All right. This is my 3rd and most anticipated sneakers of the year. They will be difficult to cop, but I will say about Armand, the Manières, that they make it pretty easy to get their sneaker. The 3s were easy to get. The 1s were actually easy to get, on release day. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but, who knows what the resale on both of these will be. Either way, they're beautiful sneakers, and it's something I'm looking for. That's my 3rd most anticipated sneaker. Let's get to my 2nd. Okay, remember, this is my list. Okay, this is the most hyped up anticipated sneakers of the year, right? These are my most anticipated sneakers of the year. And listen, if you grew up in the 90s like me, if you a 90s kid like me and you watch 90s basketball, there's no escaping Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway is one of the dopest and one of the dopest sneakerheads, by the way. Look how that man dresses on the bench coaching over in Memphis, man. The dude is super fresh. And the Penny 1 is returning this year, man. I know this may not be high on a lot of folks' list, especially you youngins out there, but this is high on my list, the Penny 1 Retro. There's a couple of collabs happening with the Penny 1 as well, but I'm looking forward to the OG Penny 1. I think on the podcast, I talked about one of the collabs, but on this version, I'm talking about that Penny 1. I've had new thoughts about it. The Penny 1 classic black, white, and blue. Can't go wrong with that one, man. That's my 2nd most anticipated sneaker. All right, let's get to number 1. Honorable mention to the Jordan 12 playoff. Okay, the Jordan 12 playoffs are coming out. That's just, classic sneaker. But I had to choose between the Jordan 12 playoff and the Jordan, and this particular sneaker. I almost gave it away. This particular sneaker that I have at number 1. And I thought about it in this way. Which ones will I wear? Which ones will I really get a bunch of wear out of, right? I love 12s. But where I'm at and how I move around these days, the work I do, the places I am, I got to go with the Jordan 3 Fire Red. Classic. Jordan 3 Fire Red is so incredibly beautiful. I love Jordan 3s. Jordan 3s, Jordan 1s, 4s, 2s, the early silhouettes of Jordans. I still like 11s. I still like 12s. I can still do those things, but those earlier silhouettes are things that I can move around in the worlds that I operate in, the places that I go. You could dress these sneakers up a little bit. You could do more with these, right? So the Jordan 3 Fire Red, classic, all-time colorway on an all-time classic silhouette. That is my number 1 most anticipated sneaker of 2022. But there's so much coming out. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you're looking for in 2022. There's so much. I know I skipped a lot of really crazy collabs and really crazy heat out there. I know I did. I get it. There's Off-White coming out. There's all sorts of stuff coming out this year that I just didn't touch. All the New Balance stuff, all the Adidas stuff. I know I skipped a lot of it, but that's just my list. I want to hear yours. Thank you again for tuning in to the video version of What Are Those. Again, go check out the podcast on all podcast platforms. My man Paul Spann and I had a great conversation about just sneaker culture in general. The Jordan 2, the Jordan 1 mid. I got theories on the mid. Okay, I got theories on that one, but y'all will hear that if you tune into the podcast. All right, big shout outs to the team. Remember to go follow the On My Feet Network on all social platforms at On My Feet Network, at On My Feet app, and go subscribe to the YouTube to check out more cool content. You can follow me, MSR_Adam, MSR_Adam. Thank you so much. The podcast and the YouTube will be in harmony on next Tuesday. Be sure to check it out. We'll have video and podcast dropping on the same day. Shouts out to the Up on Game Network. Shouts out to you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Remember to mind your mental health. Take care of yourself physically and mentally. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, please continue to be great. I'm up out of here.